What's up, everyone? The NBA offseason was looking way too calm, and you know what that means. Time for the league to throw everything into chaos mode again. And right when you thought the Celtics were settling into a quiet summer, everything got flipped on its head. We've got superstar uncertainty, major roster holes, and out of nowhere, Peyton Pritchard is talking like he's ready to carry the torch. Yeah, that Peyton Pritchard. And if you're not buying into it yet, maybe it's time to start paying attention. So let's start right there. Pritchard dropped some serious quotes this week in an interview, saying it's not just about making the playoffs in Boston, it's championship or bust. Now, I know what you're thinking. Every player says that. Every team wants to win. No one's going into the season saying, let's shoot for a nice little 6th seed and call it a year. But when Pritchard says it, it hits a little different. This isn't just a role player doing media rounds. It's a guy who clearly knows there's a gaping opportunity in front of him and is looking to step straight through it. And here's the thing. Ade, if the Celtics are taking any kind of leap without Tatum, and with guys like Porzingis, Horford, and Holiday off the floor for extended stretches, it's going to take more than just Jaylen Brown playing like an MVP. It's going to take Peyton Pritchard becoming something bigger than he's ever been. And I honestly think he knows that. Like, this isn't just some summer workout hype. The numbers actually back up the idea that Pritchard might be on the verge of a legitimate breakout season. Let me break this down. For his career, Pritchard's been solid. Around 9 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. Nothing crazy, but last season, stepped it up. Played in 80 games, averaged 14 points, nearly 4 rebounds, and over 3 assists per game. Efficient, too. Shot 47% from the field, 40% from deep, and 84% from the line. But the real story? What happens when the stars aren't on the floor? When Jason Tatum was out, Pritchard averaged 18 points, nearly 5 boards, and 5 assists. That's legit. With Jrue Holiday out, 17, 5, and 5. No Jaylen Brown, same thing. 16, 5, and 4. And we're not talking about tiny sample sizes here. These are real minutes, real games. And it paints a pretty clear picture. When he's given the keys, Pritchard produces. He steps up. He plays like a guy who wants to be more than just a spark off the bench. So if you start doing the math, and trust me, I did, the Celtics are losing a lot of points from their lineup. No Tatum? That's 27 points gone. Porzingis adds another 20. Horford brings about 9. Jrue Holiday 11. That's 67 points. Per game just evaporated. Somebody's got to pick that up. And look, obviously Jaylen Brown's going to do a lot of that lifting. Maybe Derek White gets a bump. And yeah, Anthony Simons is in the mix too. But if you're not putting Peyton Pritchard right at the center of that conversation, you're not watching closely enough. There's a real chance, and I'm not just saying this for drama, that Peyton Pritchard becomes the key player. That determines whether Boston hangs around as a contender or slides way down the East standings. I mean, if he even flirts with numbers like 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game, that's not just a solid season. That's borderline all-star talk. And I'm not exaggerating. He already shot 40% from deep on. High volume. If that holds and he gets more usage, more rhythm, more reps, there's no reason to think he can't reach that next level. Now I know a lot of fans are high on Anthony Simons, and fair, the guy can score, but here's where I push back a little. Simons is a better playmaker, sure, but Pritchard is a better rebounder, weirdly true, and a significantly better defender. He gets after it, he's physical, he's smart, and that's what the Celtics team is going to need if they're going to survive the Eastern Conference. Meat grinder without their full squad. And yeah, I'm fully in on the idea of Pritchard starting over Simons. That might sound crazy to some people, but when you look at fit role and what this team actually needs, it just makes sense. He doesn't need the ball constantly. He can shoot off the catch. He works hard on both ends. And clearly he's got the mindset right now that he's ready to prove something. Not just to the league, but maybe to his own organization too. Remember, this is a guy who's had to grind for every opportunity. Now the door's open. But let's not ignore the chaos outside Boston either, because it's coming fast. Giannis might be back on the trade block. Like, are we doing this again? After all the rumors felt like they were squashed earlier in the offseason, now we're back to, well, maybe he doesn't want to stay in Milwaukee. And you can bet that every team in the league is paying attention to that, including Boston. Not because the Celtics are going to trade for him. That doesn't make sense financially or strategically, but because if Giannis leaves the East, that's massive. Imagine that. Giannis heading to the Western Conference. Houston, maybe? Or even San Antonio. That completely shifts the balance of power in the East. It takes the Bucks out of serious contention. And if the Sixers are already dealing with Joel Embiid's health issues, which we'll get to in a second, suddenly the Celtics are staring at a much more open conference. I'm not saying it's a clear path to the finals, but if Giannis and Embiid are both compromised or gone, man, Boston's got a real shot to stay in the mix, even during what's supposed to be a gap year. Speaking of Embiid, what is going on in Philly? Reports are starting to surface that his knee is in really bad shape, like not ready for camp bad. And if that's true, if Embiid can't even start the season healthy, then we're talking about a Sixers team that's built entirely on hope and broken knees. Paul George is already coming off another surgery. Maxey missed time last year. And suddenly it's like, wait, this is the team that was supposed to challenge Boston and Milwaukee. Come on! Philly's future is looking messier by the day, and Nick Nurse has to be wondering what he signed up for. And this is where things get really interesting for the Celtics. Because even if Tatum takes his time coming back, even if the plan is to ease into the year, the East might be soft enough that Boston can still compete for a top 6 spot. That sounds wild considering all the talent they're missing, but look at the landscape. The Knicks are solid, but not scary. The Cavs haven't made a deep run yet. The Hawks haven't won a playoff series since Ben Simmons passed up that layup. The Magic and Pistons are exciting, but still unproven. Suddenly, the doors cracked open. And a guy like Pritchard, he might be able to kick it wide open. I know there's hesitation. I know some of you are thinking, are we really doing this? Are we really putting our faith in Peyton Pritchard? But here's the thing. We've seen this story before in the NBA. A guy buried on the depth chart for years finally gets his shot and everything clicks. It's about opportunity. It's about confidence. And Pritchard clearly has both right. Now, look, I'm not saying Boston's going to roll to the finals or that Pritchard's going to average 30. But I am saying this. The conditions are right for a major leap. The usage is going to be there. The trust is going to be there. And if he's producing like he did in those stretches without Tatum, Brown, or Holiday, it's not a fluke. It's a trend. And even if you're still not sold on Pritchard as their guy, think about this Celtics team as a whole. You've still got Jaylen Brown. You've still got Derek White. You've got Simons in the mix. And if a guy like Nemias, Quater steps into a bigger role at center, that could round out a team that, while not as dangerous as they were last season, can still win a lot of games. And if the front office gets aggressive and brings in a real big man, now we're cooking. But I'm getting ahead of myself. For now, all eyes are on Fast PP. The Celtics aren't just handing him the ball, they're handing him the spotlight. And if he keeps talking like a leader and playing like the numbers say he can, this could be the year everything changes. For him, not just a role player, not just a spark off the bench. Maybe, just maybe, the new face of a scrappy underdog Celtics squad trying to shock the league. And just when it seemed like the Celtics situation couldn't get any more unpredictable, the rest of the league decided to pour gasoline onto the fire. Because here's the truth, Boston might not even need to go full throttle this year to remain in the playoff conversation. That's how chaotic things are shaping up in the East. The teams that were supposed to be at the top, falling apart. The ones trying to rise, still unproven, and the ones in the middle, well, let's just say they're dealing with their own brand of dysfunction. Take the Sixers. Joel Embiid's knee is apparently still in rough shape. And we're not talking about typical off-season wear and tear. We're talking bad. Reports are suggesting he might not even be ready for training camp. And there's a growing belief that Philadelphia's front office regrets giving him that massive extension. Let that sink in. The reigning MVP, the face of the franchise, a guy who was supposed to anchor a championship contender, now possibly seen as a liability by his own team. That is a disaster in slow motion. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The Boston Celtics have made one of the most groundbreaking moves in recent NBA history by securing the services of superstar point guard Damian Lillard in a blockbuster deal that has instantly transformed the landscape of the league. The announcement came after weeks of intense negotiations, speculation, and anticipation, culminating in a multi-year mega contract that solidifies Lillard's commitment to Boston. Lillard, known for his incredible scoring ability, leadership, and clutch performances, will join forces with an already talented Celtics roster that boasts a blend of youth and experience. This acquisition sends a clear message to the entire NBA that Boston is not only serious about championship contention, but also willing to make bold moves to achieve their ultimate goal. The synergy between Lillard's dynamic playing style and the Celtics' strategic system under coach Joe Mazzulla promises an electrifying brand of basketball that fans will eagerly anticipate. This trade is expected to create one of the most formidable backcourts in the league's history, pairing Lillard with rising stars and seasoned veterans, which will elevate the Celtics' chances in both the Eastern Conference and the overall NBA playoffs. The excitement around this signing has ignited a frenzy among fans, analysts, and players alike, all eager to see how this new chapter will unfold on the hardwood. Damian Lillard's move to the Boston Celtics marks a pivotal moment in his illustrious career and opens a new chapter filled with opportunity and challenge. Lillard has consistently proven himself as one of the premier point guards in the NBA, with multiple All-Star appearances, All-NBA selections, and unforgettable playoff moments that have etched his name into basketball lore. His signature step back, three-pointer, fearless drives to the basket, and ability to control the tempo of the game have made him a formidable force on the court. Joining the Celtics not only gives him a fresh platform to showcase his talents, but also places him in a team environment that emphasizes defense, ball movement, and high basketball IQ. The Celtics have been steadily building a roster that complements Lillard's strengths, including versatile forwards and sharpshooters who can create space and exploit mismatches. The addition of Lillard addresses the Celtics' need for a reliable floor general and a go-to scorer in clutch moments, enhancing their offensive arsenal significantly. For Lillard, the challenge will be to blend his individual brilliance with the team's collective goals, forging chemistry with his new teammates and adapting to a new coaching philosophy. This signing is not just a headline move. It is a strategic alignment that could define the trajectory of both Lillard's career and the Celtics' pursuit of NBA glory. The impact of Damian Lillard's signing extends beyond the Celtics' locker room and court. It reverberates throughout the NBA's competitive dynamics and market narratives. Lillard's presence in Boston shifts the balance of power in the Eastern Conference, intensifying rivalries with powerhouse teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, Miami Heat, and Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics, already perennial contenders, now boast a star-studded lineup capable of challenging the dominant teams in the league with renewed vigor and confidence. This move also has significant implications for the NBA's business side, including ticket sales, merchandise, and national media attention. Lillard's fan base, known for its passionate support and global reach, will undoubtedly boost the Celtics' marketability and brand value. Furthermore, the signing underscores the Celtics' front office acumen in orchestrating high-stakes deals and managing salary cap complexities to bring in elite talent. The ripple effects of this mega contract will likely influence future player movements and negotiations league-wide, as teams observe Boston's aggressive approach to assembling a championship-caliber squad. For the Celtics coaching staff, integrating Lillard's unique skill set and leadership qualities will be paramount to maximizing the team's potential. The move has injected fresh optimism into Boston's fan base, who are eager to witness the evolution of their team into a dominant force that could finally break through and capture an NBA title. From a tactical perspective, Damian Lillard's integration into the Boston Celtics will require meticulous adjustments and strategic planning to harness his full potential within the team system. Lillard's ability to create scoring opportunities both for himself and his teammates will add a new dimension to the Celtics offense, demanding defensive attention and opening lanes for other players. Coach Joe Mazzulla and his staff will focus on optimizing the pick and roll dynamics, spacing the floor to accommodate Lillard's lethal shooting range, and enhancing ball movement to keep defenses off balance. Lillard's veteran experience and clutch mentality will be invaluable during high-pressure moments, particularly in the playoffs where every possession counts. On defense, the Celtics will benefit from Lillard's improved commitment and athleticism, although his primary role will be as a playmaker and offensive catalyst. The coaching team will work to develop synergy between Lillard and key Celtics contributors, ensuring seamless transitions between offense and defense. This strategic integration is critical as Boston aims to maintain a balance between individual talent and team cohesion. Analysts expect that Lillard's presence will elevate the performances of his teammates, encouraging more aggressive defense and faster transition. Ultimately, this signing is a chess move by Boston, positioning them to outmaneuver opponents with a blend of star power, tactical versatility, and relentless competitiveness. The excitement surrounding Damian Lillard's arrival in Boston is palpable among the Celtics fan base and the broader basketball community, who recognize the historic significance of this mega signing. Lillard's journey from Portland Trail, Blazers franchise cornerstone, to Boston Celtics leader, symbolizes a new era for both the player and the franchise. Fans are already imagining the iconic moments that will emerge from this partnership. Game-winning shots, playoff heroics, and possibly a championship parade through the streets of Boston. The media buzz and social media conversations highlight the anticipation and hope that Lillard's leadership will translate into tangible success on the court. For the Celtics, this signing is more than just acquiring a star. It's about reigniting a culture of winning and competitiveness that has defined the franchise's legacy. As the new season approaches, all eyes will be on Boston to see how quickly Lillard adapts and how effectively the team coalesces around him. The pressure and expectations are immense, but so is the opportunity for greatness. This blockbuster deal is poised to reshape the NBA landscape and set the stage for thrilling basketball seasons ahead, with Damian Lillard and the Boston Celtics aiming to carve their names into the annals of history together. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.